The story of Taro and the lesson of mental control. In a small village nestled beside a peaceful river, there lived a young man named Taro. Taro was well known throughout the village, not for his talents or kindness, but for his quick temper. He was someone who got easily upset, often erupting in anger and losing control whenever things didn't go his way. Anyone who accidentally bumped into him on the street, made a joke, or criticized him in the slightest would quickly ignite an argument. This behavior gradually isolated Taro. The villagers, even his family, began to avoid him, fearing the hurtful words that could come from his fiery temper. As time passed, Taro began to feel the weight of loneliness, but he had no idea how to change himself. He couldn't understand why he was unable to control his emotions, which only made him feel more frustrated and angry with himself. One day, the village welcomed an elderly monk named Akira, who was renowned for his profound wisdom and compassionate heart. The villagers flocked to the large community hall to hear the monk's teachings, and Taro was no exception. He thought that perhaps Master Akira might help him find a way to control himself. Taro sat at the back, listening as Master Akira spoke about mastering the mind and managing emotions. The master said, "In life, we cannot control the things that happen around us. But what we can control is how we respond to everything. When you master your mind, you'll find a peace that nothing in this world can take away." The monk's words struck a deep chord in Taro. He decided to wait until the end of the session to speak with Master Akira personally. When he met the master, Taro expressed his desire to learn how to control himself and stay calm in all situations. Master Akira looked at Taro for a long moment, then gently said, "Come see me tomorrow. I'll take you to a special place. But you must carry a full cup of water in your hand and not spill a single drop." The next morning, Taro met Master Akira, holding a cup filled to the brim with water. The master led him down narrow, winding paths through the village, where people were busy going about their day, sometimes crowding the path. Even a slight bump could easily spill the water from the cup. Taro focused intently, taking careful steps and avoiding crowded spots, all to keep the water from spilling. At one point, a child accidentally bumped into him, making him stumble. Taro wanted to shout in anger, but he remembered the cup of water and reminded himself to stay calm. He knew that just a little loss of focus could cause the water to spill and the challenge to fail. When they passed through a bustling market street, Taro encountered a few old friends, people he had hurt with his harsh words in the past. They saw him and smiled, but then looked away. A feeling of regret rose in Taro's heart, but he dared not speak. He could only continue his steps, keeping his grip on the cup steady and trying his best to remain calm. After a while, they reached a hilltop where the entire village lay spread out below. Master Akira stopped and asked Taro to sit down beside him. "How do you feel?" asked the master. Taro looked down at the cup in his hand and realized it was still full. He replied, "I had to focus so much on keeping the water from spilling. I see now that I can control myself when I'm truly focused on something important." Master Akira smiled warmly and said, "Exactly. When you focus on a goal, you won't let yourself be distracted by the disturbances around you. In life, we often let small things bother us, losing ourselves in our emotions. These distractions are like outside forces, ready to spill the cup of our mind at any moment." "But Master," Taro asked, "how can I always stay as focused as I was with the cup in my daily life? I can't constantly think of a cup of water." Master Akira nodded and replied, "You don't need to think of the cup, but what you need is to remember that every time anger or impulsiveness rises within you, that is the moment when your cup is being shaken. When you keep your mind steady and don't let unimportant things disturb you, you'll gain control over your emotions instead of letting them control you." Taro fell silent, reflecting on the master's words. He realized that every fit of anger he had in the past stemmed from trivial matters, yet these incidents caused deep hurt to those around him. He resolved to change. Taro's transformation. After the lesson from Master Akira, Taro committed himself to applying it in his daily life. Every time he felt anger rising, he reminded himself of the cup of water, envisioning his mind as a calm, undisturbed cup that only he could keep steady. The early days were not easy. Sometimes, he encountered people who had once angered him. But This time he simply smiled and let it go. Other times, he wanted to lash out over something that displeased him. But he recalled the calmness of the cup and focused on holding back his reaction. Gradually, the villagers began to notice a change in Taro. They no longer feared interacting with him. Taro became someone they could trust, someone they could turn to for advice and comfort. He was no longer the hot-tempered young man he once was, but a calm and understanding individual. Taro's story is not only a lesson for him, but also a valuable message for all of us about the power of mental control. When we learn to temper our emotions, focus on what truly matters, and let go of distractions, we find peace and freedom within ourselves. If Taro's story resonates with you, remember that you too can master your mind, stay calm in all situations, and live a life of peace and purpose. Don't forget to hit subscribe on Life Stories 365 to receive more inspiring stories. Join us on this journey of exploring life's valuable lessons, helping you find peace and meaning in each day. Thank you for listening to this story, and may you find tranquility in every step of your life journey.